Welcome back to my YouTube channel at Dear Lady Winners, where I teach you how to think like a millionaire, as well as we talk men. But today, I'm going to teach you how you can make $100,000 in just 10 days. Yeah, that's right. 100K in just 10 days. Now, you do have to put in a little bit of work to get to the 100K. First, you have to believe in your mind that you can actually achieve this. How do you do that? There's a saying, and it goes, anything that the mind can believe or anything that the mind can conceive, you can achieve. Because that's where everything begins, right? Everything begins as a thought in your mind first, and then it turns into action. The same way that we get up every single day and we think small thoughts like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go apply for a job. And you actually go and follow those steps and you get the job. So the same thing happens when you think that way on a larger scale. So make sure that you watch the entire video so that you can learn how you can make 100K in the course of 10 days. So it takes a little bit of unlearning the way that society has taught us how to think from the beginning. From the beginning, from very young, from preschool, from kindergarten, the society that we all grew up in taught us how to think small. They didn't teach us how to think of ourselves as a boss. They taught us how to work for someone else, right? Because think back, they asked you in school, what do you want to be when you grow up? What kind of job do you want to work when you grow up, right? So that's where, an example of where we got the small thinking from. They taught us to work for someone else from very young. So we have to undo that way of thinking and think like, you can actually work for yourself. You can actually create your own business. There have been way more entrepreneurs nowadays than they were 20 and 40 years ago. Here's a few examples. So they've taught us that you have to go to college and get their education in order for you to start your own real estate company. They told you you have to have our license. You have to become a real estate agent with our approval in order for you to become, in order for you to make tons of money in real estate. That's simply not true, friends. If you've noticed, people actually just buy their way into real estate. For example, you can just purchase a home and sell a home, and you are considered, or you can call yourself, a real estate investor. Do those people have a real estate license? No, they don't. They simply just bought in to investing in real estate. You can buy and sell property without having a real estate license, and a lot of people just don't think outside of the box that way. But, you can actually do that. Same thing applies to any type of profession. Really, it's just titling it something different. Like, here's another example. I started to take college classes to become a cosmetologist, but at that time, I needed the money to purchase a car. So I purchased a car and I never went and actually got my license to be a cosmetologist. It's just something that came naturally to me, or I self taught, as a matter of fact. One of my aunts sent me a Barbie doll head, and I was so intrigued by seeing how a French braid stuck to a person's scalp. So I wanted to learn. So I sat there and I actually taught myself on that Barbie doll head how to French braid. And then I did individuals, and then I learned how to add the fake hair in. So by 8th grade, I was doing my own hair individuals, and then I end up just creating my own business, not on paper, but I actually just, people will spread the word, oh, she knows how to do hair, and I just did hair without a license. You know what I mean? Just for some extra cash. And I've done it for several years. Just retired actually from it for a few years ago, because I end up having pain, in my hands. But back to, you know, that's just an example of you can do anything, in this life without actually having a license. You just title it something, close to. Other thing, that I feel is an ingredient in being able to achieve making this 100K in 10 days is courage. I feel like society has even stripped a lot of people of their courage, from kindergarten, from preschool, throughout life. So build yourself some courage. You know what I mean? Practice at improving your own courage every single day. That first comes from talking positive to yourself in your mind every single day. Every time a negative thought, or a lesser thought of yourself comes to your mind, knock it out of the way and replace it with a positive thought, or not with one positive thought, but when one negative thought comes, replace it with 10 positive thoughts about yourself. Write it down if you have to in order to remember it. Create yourself some sticky notes if you have to. Put them in the rooms where you spend the most time, whether it's your bedroom, your office, your library, your living room, wherever, your bathroom. Put sticky notes up, or listen, to create yourself a positive talking playlist on YouTube and stick it in your ears if you love to learn the audio way. But build your courage up so that your courage muscle will be very strong. Where do I learn a lot of my knowledge as far as the subject of millionaires? People that know me personally, they know that I've dated millionaires. They know that I've spent a lot of time, have millionaire friends. So I soak up knowledge just even based off simple conversations that we've had, or that I've observed while, being in their presence, while spending time with them. So what I do is I learn, and then I come on YouTube and I share it with you all. Why? Because I want you to be able to advance financially in your own life. Why? Because I know how it feels to not have. I know how it feels to not have money at the end of the month for food. I know how it feels to not have money to be able to buy things that you want to buy, or provide for your children, or be able to, just do anything that you want to do. And personally, I feel like nobody should be without food. I feel like nobody should be, lacking, you know what I mean, in the financial department, when there are literally millions of easy ways to make money nowadays. I think just not enough people think outside of the box. And that's where I come in. Some people that are watching this video, they may think, there's no way. You're insane. How are you going to do that? You're delusional. A lot of people that you may know, when you bring this video to them, or if you say, check it out, take a listen, I'm going to try it for myself, they may tell you that you're insane. They may tell you like, you're delusional. There's no way you'll be able to ever make that amount of money in that amount of time. That's just the point. You have to think to the point of delusion. Everyone that on the subject of money knows you have to be delusional to be able to make things like this happen. The reason is because majority, 80 to 98% of people think on a smaller scale because society told them to. How do I know most people think small? Because I used to think small until I adopted thinking big. And when you think big, there's no limit to what you can actually, achieve. So most people are going to say, not everybody has $10,000 to just spend like that. Not everyone, has big money like that. Think of it this way. There are way more millionaires nowadays and billionaires than there were a year ago, than there were 5 years ago, and 10 and 20 years ago. There are way more people that have way more money now. Especially, think about it. Excuse me. With the internet and these streamers and influencers. So way more people have way more money in larger amounts nowadays than ever before in history. So think of it that way. So what's the next step? The next step is creating yourself an offer. That's right. Everything is an offer. We just have been accepting low offers majority of our lives. So create yourself an offer that is $10,000. You can actually create offers that are for higher amounts. But for now, we're going to stick to this amount. So you have to create an offer that is $10,000. This can be an exclusive, can be like a platinum package if you do life coaching. It could be anything, literally. Like nowadays people cuddle and get paid to cuddle with other people in their free time. So it can be that you offer yourself as a shopping, and lunch buddy, going out to breakfast, with people, for, a specific amount of time. You could offer yourself maybe to spend 2 hours with someone. It could be 6 hours, it could be 8 hours, just whatever you feel is aligned with, your worth. It could be you know how to help someone scale their business. You know how to help someone make 10 times what their business is currently making, or 100 times what their business is currently making. You may tell them something like, let me observe, what goes on. Let me just sit and watch, how your business operates for, however long you feel you could, sum everything up and actually produce them results, just by observing and, seeing how everything works, on the front scene, behind the scenes, whatever. But you have to actually be able to give these people real results. That's the disclaimer. Did I say life coaching, like a one-on-one life coach? Well, if I did, you can create your package as a one-on-one life coaching, or if people are comfortable with you grouping people together, you can do this in person, you can do this via video chat or over the phone, however people are comfortable, or however you are comfortable. But, if you are able to group people together, that's even easier. You know what I mean? You can offer a class, like a Zoom class, and, charge for as many people. You don't want to like overwork yourself. So maybe like 10 people per class, would be, ideal, because you want to take time at the end to be able to, tell people like, ahead of time, create 10 questions each, and, take time, and you'll be able to answer, or 5 questions each, or whatever it is that you can make time for, after your class session, so that, you can help people even more on a personal level, but as a group. Can be a how to start your housekeeping business from A to Z. It can be how to start your dog walking service from A to Z. Business from A to Z. It can be how to start your picking up trash or housekeeping business, janitor business for high price clientele, from A to Z. Then, lastly, whenever you have high spending clientele, you always want to encourage them to bring you some of their friends, right? Because people who have money have friends that also have money. And you want to give them incentives. Like, for example, they just spent their $10,000 with you, right? To improve their business or whatever, it is that I mentioned previously. Once you got their money in your pocket, you want to tell them, you bring me a customer, I'll give you 500 off of what I make. Like clockwork. They gonna start bringing their friends. Because $500, you can do something with $500. $100, a lot of people know how to make $100 stretch. But nowadays, $500, they might hurry up and pick up that phone and call their friend right away for you for $500. Like, oh, that's an easy 500. I got 10 friends, so what's 500 times 10? I would have to get my phone. But y'all, the idea is that's how fast you can make $100,000 in just 10 days, or even in one class. If you get 10 customers in one day, you can make $100,000 that fast. Now, if this video has brought you value, make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share it with 10 people that you know. Some people may be wondering, like, have you yourself actually helped people, to be able to share this information? Of course. I've helped people improve their finances. I've helped people improve their health. It's been family. It's been friends. So even some people that will see this video will know, like, she's not lying. So I also offer consultations. So if you are a small business, if you are a large corporation, and you want my expertise, make sure you inbox me on my Instagram. If you are just a person and you want, life coaching, or, to figure out how you can scale your income, it could be, health, let me know. Inbox me on my Instagram and we will go from there. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.